everybody, Edo here, and this is Rolling Realms. Now this is quite an interesting story where Jamie Stegmaier, Stonemaier Games, was interested in making something for the pandemic. He did this roll and write based on all their different games, and then people played it, and then they wanted to make, people were clamoring for an actual physical edition. And actually, apparently, Jamie's been reaching out to other publishers to get them to create their own realms, which I'll talk about, but basically based on their games for inclusion or as an add-on to the game. And I have this copy because Jamie reached out to Pencil First Games about some of our titles. And we were talking about Herbaceous and Skull Hollow and other things. And I had never played the game, so I was like, well, send me a copy. So he sent me a copy. As a publisher, I'm going to be working on it, but I figured I'd do a review anyway. Rolling Realms uses one of my favorite magic tricks in board games. So in Rolling Realms, what you're going to do is it's a roll and write game where you have these jumbo dice, and they're super big. And everyone has the same cards. They have the same realms based on player color. So here's red and blue. You have these cards. And one player is going to get 3 and flip them over for the turn. And they're based on each realm as Pendulum, Viticulture, the Society, there's Scythe in there. And one player picks 3, and based on those 3s, everyone else takes them. So everyone else has the same 3 realms, and then over the course of a round, you are going to roll, anybody, the 2 dice a total of 9 times. And when you roll it, 3 and 5, you use the dry erase that comes to put 3 and 5 in here, and then you are going to use these dice in each realm. You can use a die in a realm, but you can only activate any single realm once per turn. So the magic trick that I love is the idea, and so basically each realm is like a different type of roll and write. Like maybe it's, you know, what is this one? Gain a pumpkin a heart based on completing matching pairs on the hexagon with the dice. So pairs, or some of these are just choosing to get resources in Charterstone, or like between 2 cities is working your way up and having a lower number and a higher number as you go, or the other way around. So each one's its own little roll and write puzzle that uses a die value. They're all different. And I wouldn't say any of them are crazy original, but they're all sort of siloed roll and write mechanics. But so the magic trick is, since we all get 3, and we all get the same 3 each round, and we're all using the same numbers, it sort of doesn't matter what, you know, the relative power or comparison between the different realms, because we're all using, it's like, since we all have the same choices available and the same options when making those choices, we therefore have the same opportunity. And so one realm might be a little bit more interesting than another, but everyone's faced with the same decisions, so you're all sort of min-maxing at the same time with the same decisions. But you don't know what dice are going to roll, or dice are going to roll. Also, there are some resources you can earn from cards and then use to adjust the dice, like a typical roll and write game. And, you know, it just works. It's a really nice modular game where no matter what 3 cards we flip over, we have a set of interesting decisions. The decisions are more or less interesting based on the combination of cards, and then as we go, we're going to be scoring our points and using our resources. It plays quick. I find it enjoyable, and I think it's very clear how, you know, when you're thinking of another company making a game for it, as long as it fits in with the general concept of play, you're able to, you know, work it in, because everyone's going to get, say we did Skull Hollow, for example, everyone's going to get that card when it comes up and decide if they want to use it or not. Couple tenets in here. One thing I learned when messing around with it is it's meant to have no player interaction. So there's 0. When you're working on your cards and your decisions, it's totally solo. And then everyone's doing it at the same time, but there's no cards that impact other cards. You don't have to worry about what other people do, and that was to make it really easy to play digitally, which is part of the original design. There's a solitaire mini golf version, which is pretty robust. It's got like special rules and its own like like score pad just for the mini golf thing. I haven't played it, but you know, more effort than you would have when you'd normally expect for a solo mode, and it looks cool. But I just focused on the multiplayer. Overall, I think it's a really nice take on roll and write. A lot of them are similar, but it uses the modularity and the surprise to keep it interesting, and the fact that Jamie is going to be working on adding new cards to add to the variation, I think goes a long way. One thing I'd note, though, I think I'm a little bit underwhelmed by the production value, both in terms of the graphic design, the rules. Like, it totally works, and it appears to be a very faithful recreation from what was the like whipped up play from home fun little side thing he did for the pandemic. You know, I think it falls a little short of what you might normally expect from Stonemaier games. That doesn't impact the play at all, but you know, when you're looking at the components and the rules, it's pretty basic, which is fine. But you're like, oh, okay, this is like. I guess what I'm saying is, if you didn't know the backstory and you just bought it, you might be like, oh, I mean, this feels a little like I'm underwhelmed compared to Charterstone or Scythe or these other products that I've played of Pendulum, of Stonemaier games. But when you take into account the backstory, I think it makes a whole lot of sense. So anyway, this is Rolling Realms. Hey everybody, Edo here, and thanks for watching Gaming with Edo. Reviews over here on this playlist, League and Insider videos over here on this one. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But most importantly, play some great games. Thanks.